This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency. We cannot look at this as an isolated incident. The reason why buildings are burning are not just for our brother George Floyd. They're burning down because people here in Minnesota are saying to people in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation, enough is enough. Yeah. And we are not responsible for the mental illness that has been inflicted upon our people by the American government, institutions, and those people who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
Because we thought Fort Worth was where we wanted to be. Over this last year, sadly, we have lost faith in this city, its leadership, that's you guys, and especially the police. After the killing of Atatiana Jefferson, I'm ready to leave because no house is worth losing my life or the life of someone who I love. How can I raise a child in this city that is about to explode because of police brutality? The #1 threat on my life is gun violence. Am I supposed to ignore this? We have no faith in justice, as it has become obvious that America isn't for us and neither is Fort Worth. How can we hope for justice with the district attorney office led by a known racist when she is backed by the very same police lobby killing us, totally giving her a complete conflict of interest, preventing her objective pursuit of justice for Tate? How can we hope for justice when your very own ex-police chief accuses his former employee, the city of Fort Worth, of racism? Come on.
So this message is going out to the Derek Chauvins of the world, the ones who murder black men, who think that they can do whatever they want and get away with it. You murdered that man. Plain and simple. You wear a uniform to protect America and to protect its citizens, just like I do. And you abuse the power and authority that that uniform gave you to kill a man. You murdered him. He wasn't resisting arrest. He was fighting for the basic right that all humans have to take a breath. You deprived him of a human right, something millions of us do every single day without even giving it a second thought. All you have to do is show a little bit of compassion. All you have to do is be a decent human being instead of abusing your authority and privilege just because you wear a badge.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad. And by the way, it happens on the streets of Chicago every day. So, we cannot simply turn away and dismiss those in peaceful protest as troublemakers or paranoid. Whether you are black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Native American or of Middle Eastern descent, we have all seen this bigotry in our own lives at some point. We've heard it at times in our own homes. If we're honest, perhaps we've heard prejudice in our own heads and felt it in our own hearts. We know that. And while some suffer far more under racism's burden, some feel to a far greater extent discrimination's sting. Although most of us do our best to guard against it and teach our children better, none of us is entirely innocent. No institution is entirely immune. And that includes our police departments. We know this. And so when African Americans from all walks of life, from different communities across the country, voice a growing despair over what they perceive to be unequal treatment, when study after study shows that whites and people of color experience the criminal justice system differently, so that if you're black, you're more likely to be pulled over or searched or arrested, more likely to get longer sentences, more likely to get the death penalty for the same crime. When mothers and fathers raise their kids right and have the talk about how to respond if stopped by a police officer, yes, sir, no, sir, but still fear that something terrible may happen when their child walks out the door, still fear that kids being stupid and not quite doing things right might end in tragedy. When all this takes place more than 50 years after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, we cannot simply turn away and dismiss those in peaceful protest as troublemakers or paranoid